Funky chicken. Funky chicken.
Funky chicken. You're tuned in to the Black Coconut Jazztronica sounds of DJ Chicken George.
What's going on, world? We are live and direct with DJ Chicken George. You are now tuned in to Boycott Magazine. How you feeling, Chicken?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
All right, man. First question. Let's talk about your trip to New York. You opened up for T-Pain recently. How was that experience?
Oh, it was a pretty amazing experience. So I got called in to do a private event at Terminal 5, which is one of New York's legendary venues. And let me just start off first by saying this. When I was offered the gig at first, I didn't realize that he was going to be the headliner. I just thought I was just going to do another gig. And when they said that it was at Terminal 5, at the time when I got the call, it was I was like out and about somewhere, and I was in the middle of DJing. So they said, "Yeah, we got an event at Terminal." That's all I heard was Terminal. I didn't hear Terminal 5. So I thought it was going to be at the airport when I got there. And once a couple of days before, they confirmed all of the details, and then I saw Terminal 5, and I'm quite familiar with Terminal 5 because it's like a legendary venue in New York, and everyone that you can think of as far as the biggest names in music have played there. It's a huge venue, probably holds about 5,000 people. That's when I got excited because I was like, oh wow, I didn't realize that, you know, it's going to be a gig of this caliber. So I came in, they had a limo waiting for me, flew in, got to the venue, did sound check, and when I walked into the room, that's when I realized the scope or the caliber of the gig. So they gave me the royal treatment, and I totally, you know, took advantage of it, so it was nice.
Great, great. All right, let's go back to our third route. You linked with them a while back in San Antonio.
Right.
How did y'all link up?
Well, you know, Marco, or Mexstep, he's an old dear friend of mine. We were in a hip hop group in high school called Bass Tribe, and then later we changed the name to Wasted Youth. So I've known Marco for, you know, at least 20 years now, and Easy Lee, which is the other MC in the group, he's from a local San Antonio-based group called Mojo, and apparently, like during South by Southwest one year, they linked up on a showcase and then created a project. The first album, which is Stand for Something. Once I heard the project, I was like, wow, this is great. Because it's a socially conscious hip hop project. And Marco, which he's a professor at UTSA, brings a lot of that into the project. And so every time I listened to that album, I was like, felt like I was like getting a history lesson or something about black and brown unity and whatnot. And so moving forward, I just expressed to him how much I really enjoyed the project, and we had been talking about ways for us to work together again, and it just seemed like a natural fit. Nice. So that's when they brought me into the group. Okay,
let's go even further back to your early years of DJing.
Yeah.
What was your first experience as a DJ?
You know, I feel like my first real DJ experience was in high school when I was the group's DJ for Bass Tribe. That is when, you know, because before then I'd just been collecting records and it was somewhat of a hobby. But when the group sort of formed in high school, I had a reason to sort of, you know, get out and do what it is I do. We started doing shows around town and local shows, not anything like really big, like talent shows at school or whatnot. But from there, it's sort of where I decided that, you know, this is something that I think that I could actually do for a living. We recorded, produced, and released our first album before we were out of high school. And then a 12-inch like a year later when we changed the name to Wasted Youth. And then after that, everyone kind of dispersed and sort of went their ways. Because there was 4 members of the group. It was my brother Jerry, Charles, a childhood friend of ours that lived in the neighborhood, and then Marco, of course.
Now you said Wasted Youth. Was that name punk rock influenced or?
Well, you know, that's funny you mentioned that, but at the time we didn't realize that there was already a group called Wasted Youth. We just sort of picked the name and we went with it, and it wasn't until like years later we realized that someone else had used the name. But I mean, so no, the punk influence wasn't like on purpose. It just sort of happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. All right, who would be one of your favorite music visionaries right now?
How much time do you have?
It can be two, it doesn't matter.
So many. I mean, it just kind of depends on what style of music, but you know, I'm an avid jazz fan, so I would have to say Miles Davis and John Coltrane definitely was big influences on me sort of expanding my horizons and going outside of listening to just hip hop music, because I grew up in the era of Run DMC and of course like 90s hip hop with native tongues and whatnot. And so I feel like when I started getting into jazz music is when it sort of made sense and made the hip hop that I enjoy and I like show where the roots came from jazz music and from all the other influence, but definitely from jazz music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And speaking of jazz, so now your style is called Jazztronica.
Yeah.
So do you mind building on that with us a little bit?
Absolutely. Jazztronica to me is a mixture of all the styles of music that I like, perfectly blended together, but with a hip hop sensibility. So, you know, I blend Latin beats, I blend soul, I blend funk, I blend all styles of music, but just in a hip hop mind state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to keep building on that. I just say it, but nowadays we have a lot of iTunes DJs or press play DJs.
Sure.
So how do you stay relevant in this generation?
Setting yourself apart from everyone else and doing something different. But that, I feel like that's always been the case. You know what I mean? Because sure, there are a lot of DJs, there are a lot of people doing what it is that I do as far as the profession, but there's only certain ones that you remember. And so just to stay relevant, I feel like you gotta be original. And what's original? You know what I mean? Like, it's really difficult nowadays to say, you know, something's original, but I feel like just taking it back to that essence and that simplistic, you know, concept of doing something that someone else doesn't do and that sets you apart. And I feel like that's how you stay relevant in this day and age.
Let's go back to, I think it was ACL, and you played with Questlove, is that correct? Or at South by?
No, well, that was South by Southwest.
South by, okay. I don't know.
This year actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Microsoft event.
Nice. How was that show with Questlove?
Oh, you know what's interesting is I've crossed paths with Questlove many times over the years, like in Houston, back at the Wax. And I know you being from Houston, you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That was our weekly hip hop event thrown by a bunch of people, but Eric C+, big up to him, and Witness, and all of the OG Houston hip hop DJs. At one time we did a show. I played at the Roots came in town, and so I met Questlove there. That was probably, I don't know, 15 years ago or something like that.
Right.
And then other times throughout the years when the Roots coming to Houston and playing shows. So we've definitely crossed paths. But what's funny is that when I introduced myself to him, I said, "Hey, it's a pleasure to finally, to meet you." He was like, "Oh man, I know who you are." It's like, "Oh wow," He's like, "Oh man, yeah, I know who you are, man." When I heard that you were on the bill, he was like, I was like, "Oh cool," because that brother, he knows what's up. So it was an honor and a privilege to be able to play with him, and we got a chance to build there at the gig, and just it was great. Can't say enough about the guy, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Chicken. Which record do you hold close to your heart right now?
Oh, that's an easy question. It's the brand new album from People Under the Stairs, 12-Step Program.
Yeah?
Such a solid album. Hip-hop duo from LA. And they launched their own label, Peace Lock Records, a few years ago. And I feel like creatively and artistically, they've been able to get outside of, the conforms of being on a label and the pressures of thinking about record sales and touring and all of that. Take a little bit of break and just get down to the beats and the lyrics, and it's a brilliant album. It's
awesome.
I think we got it over here. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's the program by People Under the Stairs.
Solid. Gotta check that out. Any last words, shout outs, anybody, or anything like that?
Last words, I just want to say, you know, if you like, you know, what I'm doing and the sound that I provide, which is the pedal and Jazztronica sound, you can always keep up with me on djchickengeorge.com.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is Boycott Magazine. I'm Chicken George, and we're out.
Peace.
Peace.
I have to pack up my bags and leave you. When you're gone, I am longing to see. I'm a traveling man, moving through. I'm leaving on a jet. When you're gone, I get so upset. I'm a traveling man, moving through places. Pack my bags, arrange my suitcases. I got to tie up both my shoelaces. Guess my chicken see me gone. I'm leaving. But go away, then I'll be back. I'm leaving. Headed on the fast track. Hey yo, 6 in the morning, I'm up at dawn cracking. Wash up my face and start my backpacking. Get my head together for the fantastic voyage. On the fast break like the Georgetown Hoyas. Kiss my baby bye till my honey don't cry. Wipe the tear from my eyes, say salam, then the fly. Then I'm off into limitless space with swift pace. Left a few G's at the place just in case. With haste I get snappy, hit the corner, Haley Cabby, Brooklyn Expressway on the JFK. And with no delay, so step on it, dog on it. These fly out-of-staters got the paper and I want it. The voice on percussion, need no introduction. The mighty Mos Def on DJ Hard, the production. My jam keep it buzzing like cash and good loving. I'm staying phone fresh, I ain't Mos Def for nothing.